Hi all. So here we are, Saturday evening, afternoon, at our final campsite, but not the campsite we originally had planned to be at this point in our trip. So by now you would have already seen the footage that I shot when we arrived at Le Mans, and the campsite that we was meant to be staying at for the 24-hour motorbike racing. You would have seen how crazy the events were there. I'm probably going to be seen as a bit of a wimp for not staying there, but I'm not happy to be putting my bike and my tent and my belongings and stuff in a situation like that, where people are just lawless. It was a disgusting sight, bikes that have been smashed up and burnt out, tents that are burnt out, fires going here, there and everywhere, people completely off their trolley. I didn't feel safe, and I know Kingy felt the same. So we decided to move on and absolutely give up on the whole Le Mans idea. So we headed off roughly about 5:30, 5:45 time. Headed off and decided it would find a campsite somewhere else. Now, unfortunately, all around Le Mans, all the campsites were either closed or not available. So we decided to try and get a bit further out. Ended up trying 3 or 4 different campsites, I think, when it came. Yeah. About 80 miles extra, sat in the saddle around the country lanes. Eventually gave up because we couldn't find anywhere to camp. Nowhere was open. By the time we're now looking about 8 to 8:30 in the evening, nowhere to stop and get our heads down. So we decided to try a bit of wild camping. I didn't get any footage of this because by then my camera had died, the battery had died, and it was just a case of finding somewhere that we could get down, put a tent up, have a quick bite to eat, and then get a little bit of sleep. Now, the funniest part of this story is that this morning we was woken up at 5:30 because where we had decided to camp was a car park for a fishing lake, and about 40 fishermen had turned up for what can only be maybe a competition, fishing competition or something. And at 5:30 in the morning, all these French fishermen were all out in force, banging, clanging, and fully waking us up. We could barely get our tents down quick enough before people were trying to park in the spaces that we was actually camped. So it was up and out, back on the bike about 6:30 at this point this morning to finally get back on the road and try and find a bit of normality. So we shot straight up here to just to the outskirts of Rouen, and a lovely little campsite here we found. It was €16 for the 2 tents, 2 motorcycles, 2 people. €16, not too bad. Lovely warm showers, decent clean toilet block. I will post the campsite details below, and I will do the same again for the first campsite we stayed at in Bayeux, which was a really nice campsite as well. Gonna enjoy our evening now, have ourselves some dinner, a few well-earned drinks, and then we're gonna hit the road tomorrow to the ferry and get back to good old Blighty. Look after yourselves. We'll speak to you then. Bye. Hey all. So that's it, the end of our journey. Now finally back home, and this is the end of episode 2. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you're going to enjoy the next episode once I get out on the bike again. But for now, this is the mileage we managed to clock up on this 4-day trip to France, around Normandy and back home. See you soon.